Hey, true believers, Englentine here with a review of X-Force #1, one of the few comic books to come out this week from either of the big two. Let's first get to this cover because I'm not a big fan of these kind of covers, just where it has all the new team members and they're fighting something, but all in different directions. Nobody's focused on the same thing. Sorry, if you're going to do a cover like this, the best one, in my opinion, is Teen Titans. They're all moving forward. They are all focused on the same foe. This one, it's just one in a million that do the same thing. Okay, so the book opens and we see what this is really going to be. This is not X-Force. It's Zombie. It's Marvel Zombies X-Force. I don't know what's going on with this art, man, but it is not good. I do have a confession to make. Now, Marvel and DC, of course, I try to pick up as many as I can. I'm not going to pick up all of them like I used to anymore just because, wow, I'm not going to be buying all of those really bad titles. Anyway, I don't look through the books all that often. I'll see if it's a #1 and I'll pick it up. But as far as Marvel and DC, I do try to pick up as many as possible. And I don't flip through them. I just figure, okay, it's a #1. Let's get it, see if it's worth the review, see if it's worth the look and everything. So I don't really have to open it off to thumb through it and see what it's all about because I know no matter what it's all about, I'm going to talk about it. So I didn't see this interior art. Wow, holy Toledo, it's crap. It really does. It looks like everybody's emaciated. It looks like there's zombies, and there's a gray pallor over everything. So they look dead. Every character looks dead. There's nothing vibrant about this book. There's nothing that stands out. There's nothing that pops. You know, I mean, this is the kind of thing that if your friend draws, you're going to go, hey, that's pretty cool. You know, and heck, if it's your kid, you're going to put it on the fridge. But I'm sorry, fridge art should not be good enough for comic books, for mass sale. I mean, it's not the worst art I've ever seen in a comic book, but wow, what are they going for is what I'm asking here, really. Like, what is the message that the art itself is trying to convey? And mind you, I'm not even on story yet. I want to get past this art. I want to ask you, seriously, what is the tone of the book that you're trying to convey if everybody's looking like a zombie, if everybody just seems like they're dead, they're morose, there's no joy to the book even in the story. There's no color, really. There's nothing that says, oh my gosh, you got to read this. Just visually, this is a boring book. The book itself does not start off boring. The book itself can actually grab you a little bit because it is pure action. I mean, there's a few lines of dialogue, and a lot of times the lines of dialogue are backed by graphic violence. And so this is pure violence, and even in the dialogue. So on that point, it can grab you. However, it's also a bit like, okay, everybody here is trying to convince you that they're tough. Not every character can be Wolverine. You know, everybody's trying to be the Wolverine character. Oh, I'm the Berserker killer type. And if you do that, then it's kind of dull. The whole point of what made Wolverine awesome was he was the Berserker killer type who played against someone like Cyclops and Storm's peacefulness, you know? The fact that he was the only one. But on a team like this, they're all the Wolverine Berserker type. Deathlock to the point where he's yelling and screaming about how he's going to kill everybody. I'm sorry, but while it can keep your interest because basically it's making loud noises and a lot of movement. And I got to say, you know, there are some good paneling here. There's some good layouts and so forth. So even if the art looks bad, at least it's laid out pretty well. But without the loudness, that's all it is. It's sound and fury, and it signifies nothing. There's no meat with these potatoes. Nothing at all. There's no cake with the icing. I don't know what other metaphor I could use, but it just seems like it's a big-ass gimmick that kind of fails on its own. But all the while, that's only when on one level it fails, because as far as entertainment is concerned, it can do this. As bad as this book is, it can be entertaining. And if you are somebody who just wants a good rage book, a good book that's pure action, like a balls out kind of thing, X-Force is your deal. Okay, you know what? I understood I was going to review these two books together. You know, I just figured the X-Men books together are going to, it just fits. I didn't know that they were going to give me the gift of two groups being attacked by something covers. This one, while it's bland and boring still, at least everybody's focused on the same thing, so I still call it a win. Alrighty then. So I missed number 6, and I jumped right on into number 7 without reading it. I've got it, but I just figured, you know, I'll just read it. I'll catch up. And apparently Glob, they're in some sort of hell, and Glob has the atomic skull from DC. He's got his powers, and the fact that he looks like him now, somebody's gonna get sued. Seriously, if you're gonna have some powers where you can melt and do all that kind of stuff, and you're gonna make him look exactly like him, I don't know. As soon as I saw what he was doing, I went, holy shit, they turned Glob into the atomic skull. I can't believe it. That's not good, guys. You got to be a little more original. But then again, the House of Ideas stopped being that and went on to be the House of Ideologues a long time ago. But, okay, let's get past that. Let's talk about what is actually on the page. Let's talk about what is in the story and so forth and so on. And let's see. Oh, you know what? I talked about the art on the last one, so let me talk about the art on this one. Just to be fair, you know, I want to cover all bases, art, story, and value for price. I should really add that in. Anyway, the art, it's all right. It's pretty good. It gets the story across. You know, once again, there's good layouts here as well, except for people look like people and not emaciated corpses. Creatures look like the creatures. I would say so far in every way, shape, or form, this is the superior book, which is good because I was not sold on Uncanny X-Men. I'm still iffy about it, in all honesty, but this issue compared with X-Force is definitely good. Not exactly the highest of praise, but there you go. That's what I got to offer as far as this is concerned. Story. So they're in some sort of hell/Chicago, and Nate is powerless. And the teams have split up. You have those who want to... Hold on. The ambulance is going. Oh, it's a fire engine. No, it's an ambulance. Oh, no, paramedics. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. They're passing by now. Anyway, the whole thing is you got the team split up now. Only Glob and Armor want to save Nate. Everybody else sees that he needs to be killed in order to save their world. Morally, I'm on the side of kill him. I'm sorry, but... he may be feeling okay. He may be feeling kumbaya right now. If he has a relapse into destroy the worldville and he can actually destroy the world, it's got to suck the pipe. Blammo! Sorry, man, but, you know, I may be the villain on this one, but that's the way I would see about it. If you can promise me there wouldn't be a relapse 100%, okay, we're fine. But since you couldn't, kaplow! Bye, Nate. That's just me. So I'm on that team. But you still have Glob and Armor fighting the other characters over whether or not they should kill Nate in this one. And Glob, for some reason, along with getting his powers, gets a very aggressive personality as well. He's not the fun and friendly guy he was. In short, like all of X-Force, they turned him into Wolverine. He's now the guy who's A-okay with doing stuff and killing, and at one point he does try to kill one of his friends of all people, which I think, you know what, no, I'm not accepting of this particular thing at all. You know, I mean, this is not the character. He's got powers now, but that doesn't mean it should be in his character that he's going to attack his friends first, or that he's going to try to kill one of them because they have a difference of opinion on what to do. Instead of his fun and friendly kind of character, hey, you got to accept everybody, you know, that kind of thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of Glob, or anyway, I don't even know if I'm saying the right name. I always thought he was a gimmick character. But he was a gimmick character, and in the right hands, he could be perfect. I thought Glob was would be a lot better written, of course, without any superpowers. Here's a guy whose mutation does absolutely nothing but hurt him, and yet he learns to live with it. That's a great thing. That's a great character to have, just not in this setting. So, of course, they darken him up. They make him look like he's more on fire. They give him the Atomic Skull's powers, and boom, go for it. That's how they do. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that particular thing. I do like the cliffhanger, but I don't think they're going to go through with it. But at least it was something. At least it was entertaining. This is not really a great book. Once again, if I were to be giving it a letter grade, it would be like B-, where I could recommend it if you're reading the story. But if you're not, this is not a jump-on point. You know, so be careful about that. Otherwise, it's okay. The art's fine. The writing, while the character of Glob is off, is fine. That's exactly the word that nails this. How's X-Men number 7? It's fine.